Welcome all of you for this new video. So today's topic is about adverse incident event. So whatever the videos you are seeing in this clinical, medical, regulatory affairs playlist. So whatever the terms I'm using, these are the terms which is utilized in the medical device regulations domains. So sometimes people will not understand exactly what the meaning of this some terminology, because this terminology in some of the domain having the different meanings and explanations, but in the medical device regulations these same terminology having the different meanings. So whatever the playlist, like whatever the videos or whatever the things information which I have covered in this playlist, clinical medical regulatory affairs playlist, so here whatever I'm talking about regarding to medical device regulations only. Okay, so don't get mixed because if you find another information with the same terminology, it could be different. So because this terminology adverse incident event is very common and very easy to understand, but on the same time this adverse incident event in pharmacovigilance having some different meanings and having their different counterpart, or maybe having the subcategories of these. But regarding the medical device regulations, what is adverse event incident? So basically adverse event incidents are associated with a medical device. Like if we uses this medical device for any patients, so patients having some drastic damaging or psychological or any kind of effect which deteriorating patient health, but those deteriorations is devoid of patient's underlying medical conditions. Like people can defend later, like if suppose the patient is already in some kind of heart disease, okay, and we utilize some of the medical devices which is for the vascular or for the heart or any kind of treatment, or for the surgery purpose or anything, and after utilizing such things the patients got heart attack, and but those heart attack, it's not. So yeah, so this is the one of the thing where people need like the professionals need to make a judgment whether such cause happened due to the medical device or due to the underlying conditions. So if anything happened with the patient, drastics or any negative things, or anything which deteriorates patient's health due to, or very concretely we can say due to the effect of medical device, only then that comes under the adverse incident event and file under the for the medical device. But if we find this effect or any health deterioration happening due to the patient's own underlying health situations, like previous health situations due to which the patient gets some drastic effects or health deterioration, then it is not comes under the adverse incident event. Okay, so always remember, so this is the reason investigation has to done by the clinicians or professionals whoever operating the patients. So it's very judgmental thing. Sometime it's may possible due to the patient themselves, or maybe the nurses or health workers who does not have a proper training or anything, so they might also don't know how to make a proper use of those medical devices. Because in medical device terminology there is a one different terms what we are saying, different terminology has been used, because each and every medical devices having their own technical documents where the manufacturer is specify like how health workers can use such medical devices, and which, like what are the conditions, what should be the protocol need to follow for utilizing of the medical devices, and for the which purpose they can utilize such medical devices. But any health workers, if they utilize XYZ medical devices for the some different disease for which the manufacturer has not intended to use. For example, I am a manufacturer, I manufacture my device A and I say device A will be used for the disease X only. Now if other person, healthcare workers see that disease X and disease Y is more and less similar, So I can use the device A for the disease Y. But as a manufacturer, I have not mentioned, I have not said that my device A will use for the disease Y. I already mentioned like my device A will use for the disease X only. So if a health worker use for the another disease, another similar disease, which is not intended by the manufacturer, intended to use by manufacturer, then that is so if any drastic or any other effect will happen in that situation, so it will not covered under the adverse incident event for the medical devices. It is due to the mistake by the health workers which not follow the proper rules and regulations and protocol, whichever is whichever is given by the manufacturer. So that time those things will not comes under the adverse incident event. So always remember, adverse incident event is very judgmental, is must be analyzed before deciding whether this adverse incident event is related to the medical device or not. So proper care need to be taken. Even some of the complaint will happen, so the proper investigation must be there. Only then we can decide whether this adverse incident event related to the medical device or not. And why it is important, another thing, why it is important. Suppose if it is really related to the medical device, then manufacturer need to think about the medical device development in their design, in their functioning, or in that way they can develop, or they they can polish those medical devices. But suppose if we don't do the proper investigations, and if we find those medical adverse incident event is not actually related with the medical device, only is due to the mistake by the patients, mistake by the healthcare professionals, and if we take them as a adverse incident event, so we will make us changes. Now these changes is a major drastic effect for the future use of the medical devices. So this is the reason, if we need to make a proper use of medical devices in a present or in a future, then we need to take care how this adverse incident event has been reported, proper investigations, proper judgment need to be taken. Only then actions can be taken for the medical device design developments and all. So these are the things which we need to take care of this. Now, I already mentioned that this same terminology we can find in the pharmacovigilance or the pharma part. So their adverse incident event related with the drugs, and they have some different side, and they are another terminology of the side effects and all. So we are not going to cover these things. Only I'm just giving you a clue, like these the same things. In the name of the drugs, things can be different, but in the name of the medical device, things could be different. So this is for now. Let's meet with another videos with another topic. Till then, bye, take care.